One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Good evening, everybody. Let's talk Jets, a special Sunday night edition. It is the eve of free agency. Bubs, how you doing, man?
Tyson, how's it going? Everybody in the chat, how's it going? You said it best. It is free agency eve. So looking forward to diving into it today here on the show. A little free agency preview, some last thoughts before tomorrow comes. And I'll be honest, Tyson, as the day has gone on, I'm starting to get like the pre-free agency jitters and the pre-free agency nerves just because of where this team's at, the amount of cap space they got. Obviously, the quarterback's a question. We're starting to get a little bit more clarity there between Wentz and Gino. It feels like it might be leaning that way. We'll obviously talk about it, some other options that are out there as well. But you never know with this team. You just never know with this team, with this organization, with this owner, what's going to happen. So there is always that little nerves. But as I always say, there's no better feeling than that first like Adam Schefter notification, that first, signing that comes across. So I'm looking forward to that and looking forward to diving into some of our last thoughts and predictions and preview here over the next hour or so.
Yeah. And the thing is this, it's funny how, all throughout the last 3 months, we're talking about the Jets got to be aggressive. The Jets got to spend money. The Jets got to do all these things. And all of a sudden today, there's a narrative like, you know what? The Jets are going to be cautious. They're going to be looking for good value. Here's the deal. They have a ton of cap space. They have a ton of holes. Spend the Jets tax and bring in talent. And I don't even like this idea that, Darren Muji's been so great. He's kind of safe. There's a lot of pressure on Aaron Glenn. No, Darren Muji's not safe either here. Because let's not forget last year, their first year. It's not a redshirt year where you can just blow all kinds of draft picks, blow all kinds of cap space, make bad moves. Like, he makes 4 or 5 good trades. You give him credit for that. He's not an established great GM right now. Some of the holes he created are because of him too, starting with Justin Fields. Like if you look at the free agents they signed last year, are they here this year? Most of them aren't. Brandon Stevens, solid. Myers, solid. A lot of them are going to be gone, dude. So it's like you look at the draft picks. You had, the first couple of rounds, you're supposed to hit those picks. Later on in the draft, not exactly great. You got to hope AZ Thomas pans out, Malachi Moore pans out, Aaron Smith, complete waste of time. So it's like there is a lot of pressure on both of these guys to figure it out. Now, everybody's saying, well, Aaron Glenn's got a lot of same personnel. Okay, fine. Then Muji's still in the building. So going into tomorrow, they better come out with a clear and concise plan to figure out all their glaring holes, starting with quarterback. Now, the rumors are all there's, Gino Smith, Carson Wentz, all this stuff, and that's fine. But they have to have a plan A, a plan B, and plan C. We can't be sitting here on Wednesday and Thursday like, man, the Jets don't still have a quarterback. Like, that'd be ridiculous, dude, because your selling point right now to a free agent, other than money, is opportunity and some form of winning. If you don't even have a quarterback in the room, Justin Fields is getting released. There's not even a quarterback here. What exactly are you selling to this team?
Yeah. No, there's not much to be sold right now, especially coming off a 3-14 season. It's not like you can sell, we won 8 or 9 games last year with bad quarterback play. We're going to improve the quarterback play. Or, we won 8 or 9 games last year. We found our quarterback. And you have that to be your selling point. No, and I agree. Look, Darren Muji's got to ace this. Yep. Aaron Glenn as well, both of them. The classic Bill Parcells saying, you are what your record says you are. And the reality is, Darren Muji, there's been some shrewd moves. There's been some good trades that we've seen. There's been some level of aggressiveness that we've seen out of him to bring in some young talent with control. All of those things have been good. But at the end of the day, he's also 3-14 as a general manager. 100%. And you mentioned some of the draft picks. You mentioned some of the free agents. Cisco was wasted. You look at the draft picks. You mentioned Arian Smith was a waste. Tyler Barron, a waste. Kiko Maui-Noa, for the most part, not a guy that you feel like is going to play a big role in this team moving forward. They threw away a couple day 3 picks. That's another day 3 wide receiver that we saw just thrown away. And a lot of us predicted that Arian Smith wasn't going to be good because every scouting report that you had on him was he was a UDFA. He was a speedster that needed a ton of work. The Jets took him in the 4th round, and it went as you kind of expected. So, yeah, I mean, this team has so many holes. I created a list the last couple of days of just some names at each position, and it's literally every position, essentially. You go from quarterback to wide receiver. You could potentially add some juice at tight end, offensive line, D-line, defensive end, linebacker, safety, cornerback. Up and down this roster, there are holes. They've got money to spend. They've got draft picks to use. They've got to be able to build a legitimate roster, build a legitimate foundation. Just erase the quarterback for a second. They've got to be able to find, if they don't come away with at least the wide receiver 2, a legitimate edge rusher, a legitimate leader on that defense at linebacker, then it's a failure. Like, you've got to find legitimate pieces.
And safety. Safety's a huge hole, dude.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I am tired of mediocre to below average safety play. They've got to sell a bit high at that position. They've got to invest at that position. It's got to be 10 times better. You can't have another Andre Sisco type of thing all over again. So, yeah, it's the pressure's on. The pressure's on. They are, neither of them, in my eyes, are guaranteed next season. Neither should be. And the time is now. And look, last year you had the fun little excuse of, oh, it's our first season. We don't have a ton of cap space. This year, you're loaded with cap space. You're loaded with draft capital. Go out there, build up this roster. And in the event you're drafting a quarterback next year, you want your quarterback to come into a solid foundation with pieces around him, whether or not that's under this regime or another regime. You build it up for now and the future.
And that's the whole thing. It's like I don't want to hear about these narratives. Well, the Jets are in a tough spot. They had all of last year while they were losing week in and week out and embarrassing themselves to figure out this year, to figure out your plan, identify your free agents, and have everything else in place. So now tomorrow you show us what you're made of. You go out and make good moves. Like, we don't need bottom of the end. Well, we do need depth. We need talent. We need starting talent. You need quality players, guys who love the game of football, guys that want to build, guys that want to compete. Because your team has to compete this year. You're not getting another, oh, well, the Jets are tanking this and that. No. I'm not sitting through another 3-win season because that's what they want. They've got to, like, you're tanking if you know you have good guys in place, you could tank. Like, if you have John Harbaugh as your head coach and you tank him, like, oh, listen, we know we have a great coach in place. We give him a quarterback, we're going to win. We don't even know what we have in a coaching staff yet after a year of a debacle. So go out and get players that will give you a chance to eliminate your excuses. And the thing is, that was my biggest takeaway, like, thinking about this team. It's like, last year, look what they did. They actually created more holes for themselves. Yeah, where they have holes at every level. You need a guard. You need running back help. Braylon Allen's not healthy. You need wide receivers. You need tight end help. And when the names we threw out last year, oh, we got Stone Smart, we got Josh Reynolds, we got this, we got that. You know what we got? We got nothing because they're all gone now. Cisco, waste of time. So now year 2, spend the money, figure it out, and get quality people in here. And I don't want it. I already see some of these media narratives, and it's driving me crazy. Well, they've got to be cautious. They've got to be this. No. They can do whatever they want. They have the money to do it. Show us you can get in here good talent. And if you can't get talent in here, then guess what? That's why you should have been fired. Like, Aaron Glenn should have been fired at the end of the season. Like, if you review things like, oh, we couldn't get this, we couldn't get that. Why? Because you had a head coach in place that everybody around the league knows should have been fired. So you have to overcome that. Show us how you're going to overcome that by signing quality players.
Yeah, 100%. And they don't have a long enough leash to go throughout another offseason of bargain basement shopping, going to the dollar store and getting, small name depth pieces and hoping that they could pan out. The coaching staff was a disaster last year. We don't know what it's going to be this year. You changed both coordinators. Now Glenn's calling plays. You have a ton of other new assistants. The coaching staff is a complete question. And you mentioned there is a lot of holes on this roster that weren't here last year that were created by this staff and were created during last season. I mean, there's so many guys we went down the list of throughout the offseason, throughout the regular season, of guys that got worse. I mean, you traded away Jermaine Johnson. That's kind of creating a hole. That was something last season. You went into the year with high expectations for Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald. You kind of have questions about Will McDonald too moving forward. That was something that we saw under this coaching staff last year, where now you got to add more juice at edge, whether that's through the draft and free agency. I don't think it can hurt to go both avenues there, from a signing an edge rusher and drafting an edge rusher. That's a Bailey or Reese, all the different names we've talked about. Linebacker, same thing. You gave Sherwood the contract. He got significantly worse. Quincy Williams was a disaster. He's going to walk. So you got to find a replacement. You've got to find a legitimate leader that can lead this defense that can be a thumper up the middle and be a guy that can be a key piece for Glenn, because Glenn last season had none of his guys, and now he is going to run his defense. He's going to run it his way, play calling his superpowers, all that stuff. If that's the case, you need to have guys that fit in your system. You need to have guys that are going to live up to what you want, and a player fit your brilliant vision that you continue to sell us. And we'll see.
But you just exactly what I wanted to say is right there. Last year, it was Steve Wilkes' defense.
Yep.
They had to figure out pieces for Steve Wilkes' defense. Now, Aaron Glenn, after a year of watching what players are here, is now running his defense. If they don't have a clear and concise plan to add legitimate talent on defense, which their defense is horrendous, they're lost. They're clearly this free agent class is loaded with safeties, linebackers. There's plenty of players out there. They should strike quick. Boom. This is the guy we want. This guy we want, because this fits our system. Because you know why? I'm running the system. I'm calling the plays. Like, Aaron Glenn's got no more excuses, dude. Like, this is literally his defense. Who knows better than him what players they need here? So go out and get them. Spend the money, upgrade the defense. On offense, it could be challenging because you don't have a quarterback, and that's a problem. But you know what? You have a lot of competition for wide receivers. But if anything, get an offensive lineman to help you out. Solidify your offensive line, solidify your quarterback room, and then worry about wide receiver in the draft. There's a lot of different ways you can go about doing this, but standing pat and discount shopping and bargain basement shopping and sitting around making excuses is not cutting it for me. That was last year. That's last year. This is this year where you're fighting for your job. You're fighting to be relevant. You're fighting to be competent. You're fighting to be an entertaining team and not a laughing stock of the NFL.
Yeah. No, they're a clown show. And Glenn around the league, everybody thought that he was getting fired.
Yep.
I was talking to one of my friends a couple months ago, and he's like, Glenn really didn't get fired? Like, he was surprised. He just thought automatically he was getting fired. So the point being, you're kind of been given a little bit of a second lease on life. There's not many organizations 100%. That would have held on to Glenn, that would have held on to Muji as well. Both of these guys, you would have just blown it up, started fresh after year one. You win 3 games. It was a disaster from start to finish. You get a second opportunity. You're lucky you have an owner that is very incompetent and is okay with running this back, and is clearly okay with losing at this point, because it's just year in and year out now. But not to go down the Woody Johnson rabbit hole, the fact of the matter is, you've got to be better. Last season, it was part of the Rodgers cap hit. It was, this is year one. They got to build their vision. You mentioned it. Steve Wilkes' defense. And then when Steve Wilkes got fired, Chris Harris ran the show. Glenn still didn't get involved. Now he's involved. He's going down with the ship. This is his defense. This is his team. He's got his guy, the head coach of the offense, and Frank Reich. He targeted him from the start of the offseason all the way until they hired him. That was his guy. That's who he wanted. So you let Reich obviously have some call, or some say, I should say, in that quarterback and who that's going to be. I'm sure we'll discuss that. Yep. But this is it. Like, this is your last chance, because if you win another 3 games, you're out. You start 0-5, you're out.
Well, and the thing is, you're trying to find a lot of talent. You're also trying to find leadership, and you got to find the captains of your team. Like right now, it's like Anzalone makes a lot of sense from the Lions, a linebacker, and that could be Aaron Glenn's voice. That could be on the sideline. He could figure it out, talk it out. He could be his messenger in the locker room. He could be his captain. He can help implement the defense. That's fine. You want to go that route, fine. I mean, I saw the whole thing about Schnell. There's a lot of good linebackers out there. The Jets want to go with the older Anzalone. Completely cool with it. The key is now is who's going to be your leader on offense? Who is going to be your quarterback? Now, there are a ton of guys out there, and now it's like, if you want to get easy clicks on Twitter or X, just say the Jets are affiliated with so-and-so. They're naming every quarterback under the sun the Jets are interested in. No kidding. We already know that. But who is realistic, who's actually feasible with this? And that's where it gets interesting, because a lot of these guys can be really cheap. You have your Gino Smith, you have your Tua, you have your Kyler Murray, you have all these guys out there. Fine. Who actually, wants to come here, which could be a challenge, Kirk Cousins included, and do they want to come here, and do players want to play with them? Do wide receivers want to come here and play with them? So the Geno Smith thing to me is interesting, because I'll be honest with you, I like Geno Smith. And the thing we all have to understand is that there is no perfect quarterback out there to say slam dunk, home run, we're all going to love him. But the thing is, the price tag and his situation with Vegas was awful. It was horrendous. If you give Geno a solid offensive line, which the Jets should have, they do things right, a good running game, which they should have, they do things right, and throw the ball to Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, they can be competitive. He's not going to be great. He's going to be good. Good as opposed to what we've seen the last how many years now is fine. If the Jets get a top 20 offense, it's a significant improvement. We've been one of the worst in the NFL. I have no problem with Geno doing it. The question is, Geno's going to have other teams that want him, And does he want to come back to New York, New Jersey after all the shit he dealt with here? But to discount Gino, I'm like, that's wild to me. We're talking about a guy like Carson Wentz, who is dreadful. If the Jets, if Carson Wentz is the Jets' best option, they've clearly quit, they've tanked, and they're not even serious about winning. And you can't. They're unwatchable. Carson Wentz, if you want to be him like your third string, like mentor to your rookie quarterback, or whatever. Carson Wentz is not like I'd rather have anybody but him. Dalton, Brissett, Gino, anybody. But that's where you got to start at. And I mean, that's like right now you're looking at it. Like I would, if I was the Jets, I would have tried to trade for Jacoby Brissett. Whatever. I'm not sure what the trade value is there, but that's where I'm going. But Gino, this Carson Wentz stuff just can't happen, dude. That's just ridiculous.
No, yeah. And the Jacoby Brissett stuff interesting because the Jonathan Jones report a couple days ago that said they would be willing to part with him for a day 3 pick that they like. So potentially a 4th, 5th round pick. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I think we're both on the same page. I like Brissett. You like Brissett. But then you had the Connor Hughes report that said they're going to probably hold on to him because it seems like Jimmy G might head back to LA. And that was kind of the Arizona's fallback option. So I guess we'll see what happens with Malik Willis too. I could see him potentially end up in Arizona, Miami as well. So, but it feels like for now, Brissett's probably staying in Arizona. They're not going to trade him.
Yep.
I'm right there with you though. Carson Wentz is just gross. There's no other way to put it. Like the guy hasn't had success in the NFL since 2021. And at the end of that year, he collapsed. And I know people want to bring up, he worked with Frank Reich in Philly. Those are some of his best seasons. 2021 with Frank Reich. We're talking 4 or 5 years ago. We're talking 2017. We're talking 2018. That's so long ago. Like I want nothing to do with Wentz. I think he stinks. I'd be more willing to go after plenty of other options than Carson Wentz. I think you could do a lot better than Wentz. I do think Wentz, I think there's a good chance he ends up here. Like you said, you want to have him as your backup, the guy that knows Reich's system and be a veteran in that room. Fine. He can't be your week 1 starter. And I'm right there with you, Tyson, and we've talked about this a good amount. I don't hate the idea of Gino. And again, you're spot on. It's funny because any quarterback that anybody brings up, it's like, well, he's got this. Oh, he's got that. Yeah, nobody's perfect. None of these guys are perfect. That's what happens when you swing and miss last year, when you swing and miss on all these draft picks, that's what happens when you're searching and free. These guys are all available for a reason. Rich Cimini put it best. You're shopping at a used car lot. I could even take it a step further and you're shopping at the junkyard with some of these names. But the fact of the matter is none of these guys are perfect. There's bumps and bruises with all these guys. I would say this though about Gino. He's kind of your lesser like Winston. I would take Winston over him, but he's going to take chances. He's going to take risk. He's going to turn the ball over, but he's going to take risk. He's going to take chances. He's going to throw the ball. Good arm. Last season was a disaster. He's playing against one of the worst offensive lines in football. Talent around him wasn't great. Gentry, they didn't use properly. Brock Bowers, fine. But outside of that, not many great receivers. And you hope the Jets can upgrade that position. Chip Kelly was a disaster. He gets fired halfway through the season. Pete Carroll was a one and done. I'm not trying to deflect all the blame from Gino, but the situation he was in last year was a train wreck. And if you're just comparing the two from Gino and Wentz hasn't been a full-time consistent starter in 4 years, and he hasn't played well in 4 years. Gino's a guy that won 10 games a year ago. And I know that the Seahawks made the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl the year after he leaves, but the fact of the matter is he won 10 games. A couple years ago, he threw for 30 touchdowns. This has been a 20-plus touchdown, 30-touchdown guy resurgence that he's been on in Seattle. He goes to Vegas. It was a disaster. I don't think it was all on him. I know Miami's there's some intrigue because he's from there. And whether or not he wants to come back here, I don't know.
For me. That's the thing for Gino. Coming back to this market.
Back in this market, back with this team at this stage in his career too. And I was thinking about this. He's been on the West Coast now for the good chunk of his career because after the Giants, it was the Chargers, or maybe it was the Chargers before the Giants, but the Chargers were mixed in there. Then it was Seattle for a while. And then it was Vegas. Like he's been out west. I could see him wanting to go to Miami, hometown, warm weather, as opposed to coming here where it didn't work out. Like you mentioned, the media, the pressure, the fact that this season could be a disaster. Does he want that on his resume too? Where there's not saying that Miami is going to be great, but if this thing spirals out of control this year, which there is a likelihood it does, he's going to kind of be pinned to that again too. So
yeah, you think that you don't want to have the story where he began and ended his career with the Jets.
Yeah,
like that's the whole thing with Gino. And then Rich Cimini had a tweet just now saying basically that Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr are not high on the Jets list, probably because they don't want to come here. Like read between the lines here. It's like acting like the Jets are like, oh, we're going to be selective. No. They probably heard through back sources that, you know what, we're not interested. Just like the head coaching search where, oh, why didn't they interview Ben Johnson? Because they didn't want to come here. Quarterbacks may not want to come here. Kirk Cousins may want to win. So now for the scenario of that, take out Kirk Cousins, take out Derek Carr, take out Gino Smith saying, you know what, I don't want to end my career at the Jets. Okay, there's your 3 names. Now what do you do? To me, Malik Willis is not a guy that I'm going to pursue because the money and the risk, the Jets aren't in a position to do that. That's me personally or if you want to go with Malik Willis, you better get Mariota behind him in case he does fail because you can't mail in your whole entire season because Willis can't play football. So this is going to be fascinating, man. I just don't want to. They've had nothing but time to figure this out. Yeah. Like the entire season that Fields was playing like shit and they were playing awful offense. Muji and Glenn be like, we got to find our plan B next year. We have to find our quarterback. We have to know what it is, and it should happen tomorrow. They really should. This has to happen tomorrow, in my opinion, dude. Because the longer you wait, the worse it gets. And there's other teams looking for quarterbacks as well are going to scoop them all up. Like you said, everybody has the same. Like all the desperate teams have the same list of quarterbacks in mind. Like you said, will Garoppolo go to Arizona? Will Gino go to Miami? Like they can't all fill their holes, and the Jets are sitting there picking their nose, like, oh, maybe we'll trade for somebody now because now we're stuck, or maybe we'll go get Andy Dalton because he's going to get released. They got to know what they're doing, man.
Yeah, no, yeah, they've got to have a clear plan. There's got to be a signing early here. There's got to be quick decisions made, and can I answer this? Random man, why don't you call in and tell me who your perfect quarterback is? Acting like Gino's not a solid quarterback, you're clueless, dude. Can the Jets compete with Gino Smith? Yes, they can. That's just a fact. Like, what are we doing here now? Now we're going to start shitting on play. Oh, well, I saw him play. I saw him make 5 plays. He sucks. The Jets are in a bad situation. Give him a good fucking offensive line. Give him some playmakers. Call plays and be competitive. It's not hard to do, and Gino can do that, especially in this market and in this weather conditions. Yeah. No, I mean, Gino's no elite quarterback. He's competent. And 49 starts with the Seahawks.
Ridiculous.
27-22 at 71 touchdowns, 35 picks over those 3 seasons. You look at his numbers the year prior before this, 21 touchdowns, 15 picks. He's going to turn the ball over. But if you tell me Gino can give you 20 to 22 touchdowns in the 12 to 14 pick range, which is kind of where he's been at. I mean, he eclipsed 4,000 yards a few times in Seattle. I'm not saying he's going to do all that here, but well over 3,000 yards, consistent play, a competent run the offense. I don't think it's the worst case scenario, especially when you're comparing him to Wentz. That in itself. If you're telling me who I would rather, and Gino's not my top option. We both said I'd rather Brissett. There's a couple other names out there that I'd prefer over Gino, but where it's headed, it feels like Gino is up there on the Jets list. It feels like Wentz is up there on the Jets list. So just comparing those two and where it feels like things are going, Gino's not the worst option. And when you compare him to Wentz, I don't know. Just me, I don't know if I could take 17 games of course. The guy stinks.
He's terrible.
Gino's no Hall of Fame quarterback. He's not going to Canton. He's not going to go win 12 games with the Jets, but can he be competent? Can he be entertaining? Like, look, here's the fact of them. If they're going to suck, can they at least maybe put up some points? Like, to me, Gino's going to take some chances. He's going to take risks. He's going to throw the ball. He's got a little bit of Winston in him. He's going to turn it over, but like Wentz is just boring. The guy stinks. He's not any good. He can't move. It's just, I'm sorry.
So then who's your, like, if I had my rankings now, I'd say probably for me, Brissett's number 1.
Yeah.
What are your rankings?
Brissett 1. Geez, now I'm drawing a blank.
Is Mariota up there or no?
Yeah, Mariota was up there, but I think he's out at this point in terms of, I don't think it's happening. Like there's been, and I could be wrong, but there's just been like no smoke around.
Yeah, but that the whole thing is a lot of the smoke being generated isn't by the Jets. The Jets have absolutely no leaks at all. So everybody's kind of guessing and trying to talk to agents and everybody. It's like lying season right now. Lying season, smoke and mirrors, and people chasing clicks. That's what it is right now.
No, yeah, I agree. Mariota will be up there for me. I thought he was good last season. In terms like Wentz is near the bottom for me.
Yep.
I'd actually take Kyler over Wentz.
Oh yeah.
That's how low Wentz is for me. And Kyler's low for me. Kyler's really low for me. So is Tua. Like, I want nothing to do with Tua. I'd probably actually take Tua. I might take Tua over Wentz. I don't know. I don't think Tua is happening. But it'd be I would Winston. I don't think it's happening.
Nope.
Brissett, Mariota. I happen to like Gino, so I'd throw Gino up there. He's probably like 3 or 4.
And Andy Dalton behind one of these guys, I wouldn't mind at all. Andy Dalton wouldn't be my one, but if you went, I don't know if you want to go Gino and Dalton, it's fine. Or I'm sure like I wouldn't mind none of that. Dalton is more like the number 2 over the number 1 for me.
Yeah, I don't hate Dalton. I think he's a 2. I don't hate McKee either. Just I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. I'm not really willing to part with the draft capital that they're probably going to.
Well, then you know what? That's what I would do. If you went the McKee route or they're trying to trade for something like that, then I'd bring Dalton as his backup in as your solidifying insurance policy for him.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. And that's the approach they could take too, is go the veteran route and then like the younger backup and then the rookie, you know? And look, and I see a lot of Winston in the chat. Winston would be 1 for me. He is technically 1 for me. The reason I'm not putting Winston out there is I just don't think it's going to happen. Russ is gone. He's got a good relationship with Dart. Why move on from Winston? He's the perfect. Dart's proven that he's got concussions. He's had some, the concussion. He's heads to the blue tent a lot. Like Dart's proven that he can get banged up. He could get bruised. He could be battered.
Yep.
It's a perfect backup to come in and run an offense at a high level. If Dart were to miss a couple games, I think they'd be stupid to move on from him. But in the world, and I hope the Jets at least gave him a call. I'd at least get a no on Gino, or at least get an asking price that's too much on Gino, or not Gino. I'm sorry, Winston.
Yep,
but
me too.
Yeah, I'd take Winston. And he's still got Zappy. He's still got Hendon Hooker.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
We're living the free agent dream right now.
You look at the roster, there's nothing there. Here would be I wouldn't mind Gino, but what's Gino's last memory with the Jets? Getting his jaw smashed and then having Rex Ryan pick up the guy who did it the next week.
Yep.
And now Rex Ryan's kid is the passing game coordinator. So if you're Gino Smith, are you coming back to get brutalized by this franchise again?
Okay, no. So then, according to the reports, the Cousins and Carr are out. If Gino's out too, that's 3 big names off the board. Then where do you pivot to?
I actually think we use Tyrod, in as crazy as this is in a platoon situation.
With who?
I don't want Tua, but I wouldn't mind some kind of dual veteran platoon situation and draft a quarterback in the later rounds to try to, as the project to try to develop. And you say, look, and you tell him, look, we're trying to get you on the field at some point this season, and you prepare the 3 of them to work an offense. Because I don't know what other option you have here. I'd rather bring in Phillip Rivers at this point. Like, what are we doing? Like, there's really nothing out there to begin with, and what's out there isn't touching us. And there's so many holes. What do we have? We have a receiver and a running back. Yeah. Other than that, what else can you really depend on?
Don't have a head coach.
Don't know. Obviously, that.
Hopefully, a tight end of Mason Taylor. Hopefully.
I mean, now, he looks like he has potential. He's seen some spurts, but it was no real big and couple games he looked good in. But I mean, he wasn't one of these overwhelming, wow, that's the guy. We finally got a tight end. I mean, all these guys show you these little spurts here and there, and no, other than Garrett, no consistency. And that includes Breece. I mean, Breece.
But that's why you got to find the quarterback to be a legit game manager that can run the offense and throw the football. We're not even asking for a lot, dude. Like, hit the screen pass, hit the play action pass. Just be competent at your position. Don't be no Pro Bowlers. Like, just be able to score 20 points a week at this point, 21 points, to see what these young, like, that can help develop Mason Taylor as a playmaker, can help get like the offensive line, like help everybody out, just get some continuity, get some stability. So in 2027, we have something we can build off of. This can't be a mismatch year. Don't know what the hell we're doing again. Blown assignments, blown this, bad communication, bad play call. We can't go through all that shit again. That's why you need like a confident veteran at this point.
I think Reich does bring some stability.
Yep.
And I think he's going to be coaching the team probably by week 7 or 8, the way this is going. The way this is going. Long-term coach, is he an option? I doubt it.
No. I don't think he wants anything to do with that here.
What's the level of play that we watched this last season, like, from the seasons before? Like, how could this get any worse? And again, I keep going back to 1-15. that was still what was 1-15 team, but it was still a competitive team.
And they had talent.
They had talent. They made impressive plays. They made interceptions. Aaron Glenn, he had a couple pick sixes. They were returning kicks even then. Krebet's diving all over the place. Johnson's diving. Keyshawn's all over the place. I mean, you take any one of those quarterbacks from that team right now. You wouldn't take Neil O'Donnell right now?
Yep.
He was a professional quarterback. Was he the greatest? Obviously not. He could complete a freaking screen pass, though.
Yep. And that's why
I'm not seeing anything.
But they have to show us that tomorrow. They literally got to show us now. Like, they have to acknowledge all their warts and address all of them, starting with quarterback, starting with the lack of playmakers on offense, and more importantly, your defense that has holes everywhere. Like, you can't be competitive with your current defense. You need linebacking help, safety help. You need a pass rusher. Probably need another corner. But this is like, they have the resources to do it now. Like, show us what you're made of. Like, you literally had a year last year that we gave you a pass on pretty much everything you did. Everything you did, well, this is your first year. You learn. We ignore things. We justify things. Not anymore, dude. Like, I'm not giving Muji a pass either. Like, you made some good trades. Wonderful. Prove you can build a roster now, especially when you have some things against you where you don't have that quarterback or that marquee head coach there to kind of sell things for you. So it's gonna be interesting, dude. But I'm not giving this team no passes, man.
What do you do when your biggest wart is the head coach?
That's the problem.
How do you get past that? I mean, your biggest word is running the sideline, is running the locker room. So what's your selling point? What is the selling point to this free agent? Why are you going to come and join the New York Jets at this point? What are we offering? Draft picks next year?
January and February off.
Honestly, if you do well during the season, one of the good teams will poach you, and you'll probably be playing you'll be playing in the Super Bowl.
It's basically the way we're talking about this. It almost seems like the Jets' best chance to get a quarterback is actually trading for one, because in an open market, guys probably aren't going to sign here, right? Like, you almost have to go that Brissett route where you're like, well, listen, you're forced to come here. We just traded for you, as opposed to trying to beg Mariota or somebody to come here.
You're talking about like a veteran. I mean, anybody worth trading for, in my eyes, could have a no trade clause anyway. Who's going to agree to be traded here?
I'm saying the guys that are like a Brissett that's on the table. Like, I'm not talking about Mac Jones or Davis Mills. I wouldn't give the compensation they want for those guys. But
right.
I mean, that may be their. What do you think, Bubs? I think that may be their best option, trading for somebody at this point.
Yeah, that's where you too kind of heard from Dalton's name in the mix. And I throw Brissett in that mix too. Some of the other younger backups we've talked about in the mix. From a trade perspective. Yeah, I mean, because that's the whole thing. Like, does Gino even want to be here? I think Wentz probably would, because, I mean, does anybody even want Wentz? No.
Nobody wants Wentz. Wentz
and
can go anywhere.
He's got a close relationship with Reich, but like Gino, that's where he's got other suitors. He's got other places that he probably would prefer over the Jets. How much does he even want to be with the Jets? I think it's more you're hearing with Gino is the Jets' interest in him. You really haven't heard a ton from rumors from the Gino side of things on his interest in the Jets. The main thing with Gino's been he'd like to go back potentially to Miami if that's open, and that's a place that's a fit for him because it's hometown, and all the other things too, I think, factor in at this point in his career, as opposed to coming back here. So yeah, it's a tough selling point no matter which way you cut it. You do make a good point though on Tyrod, because I do feel like Tyrod's kind of the interesting key to all this. Is they might have him already back in their eyes, and then have Tyrod already back, and then sign somebody else, and it's
Tyrod Andy Dalton combination.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Tyrod's the only one who seems like he could have completed a pass. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Tyrod is not a bad quarterback for running a competent NFL offense. If you told me you were giving me 17 games, guaranteeing me 17 games of Tyrod, I'd take it. But that's not happening.
We couldn't even get 4 last year from him. The guy gets hurt walking to his locker.
Yeah, he gets hurt rolling out of bed. He can't stay healthy. You can't trust him in that manner.
Unless there's another Tommy Maddox out there. I don't know what these other sub leagues are throwing out there, but I mean, the Jets play like. I mean, that's what the Jets look like. They look like one of these UFL, XFL teams. They can't complete a pass. They can't do anything. And it's just so depressing. Because you look at it and it's like, where do you start? Obviously, you got to start with a quarterback, but you still have the biggest word on the team is the head coach.
Yeah, no, but they got to figure it out, man. Thanks for calling it. We appreciate it.
No worries, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
So we had a person in our chat that decided that he wanted to, all the quarterbacks you mentioned, he wanted to just completely shit on Gino Smith. So let's hear about how bad Gino Smith is and why he can't play football for the Jets.
He's horrible. I don't know where this revisionist history is that all of a sudden we should disregard.
Since he's so horrible, what's your quarterback that's going to save the Jets?
Here's the thing. That's the beautiful thing. No one's saving the Jets. I never said that, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend you said when you were going off on me on my rant, Gino Smith's going to help us compete.
Yes.
Compete. He's not going to help us go in. The only thing he's helping us compete for is the first pick in the draft.
That's completely. That's not even remotely true, dude.
No, it is because you can't disregard what happened last year. He went from a loaded Seahawks team where they made him look manageable to a horrible Raiders team. And then all of a sudden now we're just going to be like, oh, well, it's not his fault. It's not his fault that he was on the Raiders. Like, this team's much better. I mean, the guy, he's good at making checkdowns. I can give him that. He's good at making completions from 5 yards in front of his face.
You're going to tell me that Geno Smith, behind a solid offensive line and a good running game, can't complete 20 of 31 every week for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns?
I don't think he can. No, I don't think he can.
All right, so
maybe in garbage time once they're down.
Okay, so then who's your quarterback answer that can make the Jets compete this year?
Out of all of them, the quarterbacks that are available right now, probably Jacoby Brissett.
Okay,
but you
who
have
else?
to trade for him. What?
And who else? Give me your top 3.
Interesting.
Jacoby Brissett. I mean, it's not a good top 3. It would be Jacoby Brissett, and I'm not including like Carr and Cousins because they don't want to come here.
Nope.
So it would be Jacoby Brissett, Tua, and then Tyrod Taylor. That's really what we're working with. I mean,
I'd rather have Gino Smith than Tua.
Yeah, I can't take Tua.
Me neither.
He can't win in the cold, so if you're going that route,
Tua and his arm at MetLife in the cold, no, thank you.
I mean, it's just there's no winning there.
Nope.
I don't think. It's kind of almost because again, it's the worst kept secret in football that Aaron Glenn, barring a miracle, is gone week 5.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way looking into this. It's just a long-term thing. You have to hope that Muji hits on the draft picks and that you can keep him and you have something in with him.
Well, but the Muji's got to hit on his free agent class. He didn't do it last year. He didn't do it last year.
I mean,
he didn't. He got Brandon Stevens. Okay. You got Myers. Okay.
But also, he signed a lot of 1-year deals. He wasn't really
okay. But how many 1-year deals?
More Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, but how many of those guys contributing did something? Half of them got hurt, the rest of them sucked.
I know, but they're not really in a position to kind of make those big moves to go after kind of.
No, they gave Cisco 1 year, $10 million. The guy couldn't fucking do anything. He was awful.
I mean, you got to take risks in that scenario. They
had a wide receiver room that was completely empty, did nothing with it.
Tyler Johnson.
They added more problems to it.
It's another bad name.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, and he went into him and Glenn. We talked about kick returner Gibson being a problem. They didn't address it all off season either, and it killed him in week 1. That was the season. Let's call like it is. That Gibson fumble was the season. Everything was downhill after that. But not to joke about it, but it's the truth. Like, that's something they actually ignored. Yeah, and they went basement shopping and went from a receiving perspective.
And to be honest, they actually made the Jets defense, which was mediocre. They made the defense awful. Now the defense they had a year of Wilkes. Figured out half these guys don't belong here. And they traded away guys, and now they're changing the defense. So now you completely overhauled it, and now we have questions about Will McDonald. Sherwood blows. It's like they have so many friggin' holes right now.
Yeah, but they also had a lot of in the defense. When you look at like the defense and who we lost some core pieces on the defense. Not that excuses every single thing that Muji's done, but I mean, you lost like CJ Mosley was gone. You lost Whitehead. You lost DJ Reed. I mean, there's a lot of pieces that were there. Obviously, you still had a few with like McDonald and Johnson, but a lot of that kind of essence of what made that we weren't able to replace, especially in like that short time frame.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, you don't want to go all in and like make a big move because obviously this team wasn't anywhere near it. I mean, we thought maybe they could compete for a wild card at the beginning of the preseason, but I don't know. It's just kind of difficult to say like, okay, let's go immediately after Rodgers and all that dead cap. Let's go all in again and start going for these big splashes.
But you at least got to sign. You just got to sign guys for like 2 or 3 year contracts and be like the linebacker group. Like it's just like the safety position is still a hole. Even though Malachi Moore, they banked on Tony Adams, which we all knew he sucked. he did suck.
Yeah,
Like, so now it's like, now you look at free agency tomorrow where it's like, if they go out and one of their first signings is a good safety, cool. Go get Cross, fine with me. You want to get a good linebacker, fine with me. But they have to do this. Like, they don't have any more passes here, man. It's like, oh, well, we almost got so-and-so. We almost go, fuck that almost shit. Like, get it done now. Because we can't, like everybody wants to tank until we actually start tanking and we're getting blown out 35-10 every week. And nobody's going to enjoy it. At least be competitive. Like Bub said, if they lose 31-24 every week, cool. At least we can tolerate watching football. Last year, I didn't want to watch the team, like any of it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just be competitive and show you how to build so we have some faith in the year after that.
I mean, the one thing I will say that's interesting to look at is that when I was thinking about like last year, when you kind of at the beginning of the year, like we talked about like Gibson, like a lot of things in the back of my mind was thinking, oh, this is like a Glenn move. Like Aaron Glenn was hired first. He's lost all that power now. Yep. So if we're sitting here 7 p.m. tomorrow, Jets haven't done much. The Jets haven't started sniffing doing anything. You have to wonder if that's Muji being conservative and just not making any moves or going for it, or if that's coming from upstairs and kind of you have to wonder how much of this season is already punted away.
Yeah, dude, to be honest with you, and this is going to come off weird, but I honestly think Woody Johnson is willing to spend money this year because he realizes he can't sell tickets, dude. This team is completely irrelevant right now. John Harbaugh came in. It's all about the Giants in New Jersey and New York. Nobody gives a shit about the Jets. They can't sell tickets. They probably can't get sponsors, right? So they got to figure out a way to at least and just give the fans a glimmer of hope. We're not even asking, like, nobody here is ever saying make the playoffs this year. We're saying win 6 games, 7 games. Just give us something to be somewhat proud of week in and week out.
Be competitive in games. Be competitive in the losses too.
Yeah, but that hasn't stopped Woody Johnson from the past. There's been, look at week 15 the last 3-4 years, every single time that season's over, no one's there. I mean, this isn't stopping them. The NFL is set up in a way where the owners automatically make money from the revenue deal. So it's not like, he wants to sell tickets. It's nice. He doesn't have to. At the end of the day, I mean, the only things that's in his way there is his own ego. I mean, like, how much pride does he have in owning an NFL football team? But if you want to look forward to that and saying, oh, we need a quarterback, people are telling him in his ear, like, next year's quarterback draft is loaded. You have to wonder how much of that's going to be going into sabotaging the season. Starting
you can do that, but you can still stock up your defense. Like, you still get quality players. Like, you have literally holes. You can't even like I don't know, man. I understand it. I think Woody Johnson willing to spend money. If there is the problem I have on offense, especially, is the guys just probably don't want to come here. No quarterback. If you're like everybody wants Pierce and Romeo Dobbs and all these Juwan Jennings. Like, why would Juwan Jennings, with all those shooters he possibly has, so let me go play for the Jets that has no quarterback and Frank Reich is probably going to be your 2 years max. Like, then if that I understand, but if that's the case, Muji's got to pivot and say, okay, listen, we're not going to get a lot on offense. We realize that. We'll use the draft for offense and go heavy on defense in free agency. That shows intelligence, which is fine. It shows competency. And defensive players, according to many, Aaron Glenn's got a good rapport on defense. Okay, then go sign your guys on defense.
Yep. And sign the guys. Like, they didn't do any of that last season in terms of signing Glenn guys or the guys that fit Glenn's billing. If you're going to call plays, you're going to consider play calling your superpower and all this stuff. You got to get guys that fit your system, fit what you want to do, which is that aggressive boomer bust type of defense, that high risk, high reward. And, all
right. So here's a question. Since you hate Gino Smith so much, what would you do with Malik Willis? Would you sign him?
See, here's the thing. Malik Willis, I think, I completely overlooked him. Like, when I was listing that, I think he's the best quarterback. The problem with Malik Willis, besides it's a big investment. And we don't know if we're at that point right now where this team is ready to like if you even looked at like from Rodgers last year, if we were in that scenario again, and instead of Justin Fields, Malik Willis would be right there. And you would say, oh yeah, of course, sign Malik Willis. He has plenty of upside. But now we're kind of in this situation where, I mean, it's a tough ask. It's like, do you really want to go all in on Malik Willis? Because then if that fails, then you now have 2 quarterbacks that you paid a lot of money that are on the hook that didn't work out at all.
He's going to want at least a 3-year deal, I'm assuming. He's going to want, right?
Especially right now, like we said, we're just kind of teetering on the edge of staying in the middle of in the hunt versus at the bottom of the barrel here. And I mean, that's no.
And the thing is, you're spending. It's not like Malik Willis, you said he's good. We have no idea if he's good. We've seen bad and we've seen some good.
Serviceable,
but it's serviceable for that money. Like, so would you rather have Malik Willis at 25 per year for 3 years or Gino Smith at the veteran minimum?
I mean, are we going under the Javed cap doesn't exist scenario? Are we going?
It's Malik Willis, 25 million a year for 3 years, or Gino Smith on a veteran minimum.
Well, obviously, yeah, Gino Smith because
there we go.
Yeah, but that's not that. I'm not comparing it to Malik Willis. If you said you could have plenty of the quarterbacks I listed,
but this is what the Jets are facing right now, though. That's the decision that they make tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's not just Gino Smith versus Malik Willis. It's Gino Smith versus 15 other quarterbacks.
But it could be narrowed down. If we already narrowed down, Cousins and Carr don't want to be here, right? You're not trading for Mac Jones. Mariota's gonna have a market. Mariota, I guess, is not in the Jets list for some reason. I have no idea why, but there's not a lot of options out there, dude. And Malik Willis is behind everybody's list.
Here's what I'll give you. Outside of the tanking realm, if it came down to Carson Wentz or Geno Smith, I would rather have Geno Smith. If you're trying to win games, that's the thing. Every other quarterback, though,
the Jets are going to try to win, dude. They're going to try to compete this year. They're not going to be openly tanking. Say, you know what? We're going to start the season with Wentz and friggin' Tyrod Taylor and some rookie. They're going to try to get a guy that can. They have to. Frank Reich didn't come back here, come out of almost retire and say, you know what? Let me go suck with the Jets for 2 years and embarrass myself. There's no way he wanted to do that.
Aaron Glenn didn't come here to suck for the Jets. And look,
he's getting paid $11 million a year, so
something happens. Happy. I mean, I'm sure Frank Reich got paid a nice amount. They cheaped out on defense, on the defensive coordinator.
It's true.
Now, here's what I'm going to end with for free agency.
Okay.
I think there's a way that you can tell if the Jets will be serious about competing next year.
Nick Folk.
You read the comments. I was going to
ask you your scouting report on the
if they sign Nick Folk. If they sign Nick Folk, that'll be it. I didn't even consider free agency kicking. I don't even think that's a real market. You got to look into the draft. That's where the upside is. Ben Sauls, great kicker. Nevis kind of took me by surprise. I'll give you that. But okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The Brandon Aubrey offer sheet.
Ooh.
I want a Pinheiro, man. He was a Jet. How long ago? He's been great since then.
Pinheiro, 30-yard field goal maximum, career long.
Hey, man, Nick Folk, we'll see.
Nick Folk's got like a 60-yarder. He's got a leg on him. Nick
Folk's fine with me. He'll come cheap.
I'd bring back Folk. Keep bringing him back until he loses it. He'll show no signs of it.
But bringing competition and training camp just in case he loses it.
Yeah, because he could fall off like Zerline.
Let's not pull a Zerline and go through that again. So
okay.
Good talking to you, man.
I will let some more serious callers on now, but it was good catching up, guys.
Good fighting with you, man.
Good fighting with you. Have a good night, guys.
So you realize now, like he ripped me for my Gino comment, and they already started giving Gino. I'd rather have him than it worked out.
Yeah. It's funny with the kickers, and I want to add something to Malik Willis. Any kicker, they're like relievers in baseball. Once they lose it, they lose. You've got to move on. They're very much a year-to-year thing, especially Folk when he's north of 40 now. You never know when he's going to fall off. So far, he's shown no signs of it. Malik Willis, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see the Jets being that fit for him, and I don't think he's a bad option. I just don't see it being realistic. The Jets just gave Fields $30 million guaranteed in the hopes that they'd be able to elevate him here, and some of the positives that he's shown throughout the career, while sporadic, would continue here and would get better here. Never worked out. Like if Willis, whether it's a 3-year deal, 2-year deal, whatever it is, you're probably looking 20, 25 million, 30 million guarantee. That's very similar to the contract we just gave with Fields. I just don't see the Jets doing that.
No, and you got
for such a small sample size.
It's a small sample size, and you give him that contract. You got to go out and sign another veteran quarterback behind them in case he bombs out. Embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
What's up, CB? Yo, CB.
What's going on, fellas?
How you doing? You look relaxed, man. You're like, I'm chill on a Sunday.
Sorry if you can barely hear me. I'm new to this.
What's up, man? Welcome aboard.
Definitely a fan of the show, but thank you for having me on.
So, what are you thinking about quarterbacks?
I don't know if I can hear you.
Can you hear it? Can you hear us or no?
I could hear him. I hear him fine.
Tyson, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Oh man, that sucks.
It
started out so well too. What happened?
Yeah. Does he have us on mute?
I don't know. We didn't mute him.
What's going on here?
I got you. We can hear you fine.
Oh.
See what happens. Random man comes
Sorry
on.
about that, fellas.
It's all right, man. No worries. All right. Yeah, that sucked because I was ready to talk to some quarterbacks with him. What's up, ST?
What's up?
I saw you eating some
Hey,
Cheez-Its. You're eating some Cheez-Its over there, man. What's going on with that?
I just got back home. I flew back home to London from New York. I had to get the Cheez-Its from Key Foods, man. So
What were you doing in New York? Hanging out?
yeah, it was just for work. Saw my brother. He lives in Washington Heights, so just kicking it, eating some Wingstop, some slices, some smash burgers. It's good, man.
All right, so talk to me about quarterbacks, man. Who do you want?
Well, here's my piece, right? Like
Okay.
we're talking about quarterbacks, but I think we're failing to acknowledge, or at least at this moment, that it's all down to really Frank, right? Like he doesn't like short quarterbacks. I mean, that's what Boomer's saying, right? That's his boy. We know what they did in college. Like he's saying he doesn't like short quarterbacks. So you can eliminate like half the people that we're talking about right now, right?
Yep.
Second off, what I really want to press forward, even though this is a free agency focused conversation, was like, I just want to know what Breece Hall's going to do. Is he going to tell us to go fuck off or what? Like,
He can
this
hold
is
out.
crazy.
Yeah, he can hold out.
Yeah,
We don't
this
know.
is crazy. I mean, that dictates. That must. I'm asking, not telling, but that must dictate who you bring in at quarterback. Surely.
Doesn't Breece Hall doesn't mean
Because-
shit to me, dude. I can give a rat's ass what Breece Hall does. I'm gonna build
But
my
you
offense.
should though.
No, I don't care.
But you should.
It's a running back, dude. I'm more worried about my quarterback, my tight ends, my wide receivers. Running backs me are dime a dozen. Breece Hall leaves, you can go get somebody else. I'm not worried
Tyson,
about
you're
him.
right, but
You
you-
can
but
run the
you
football.
should-
You
but
use
you
Brown
should
out. I
care.
don't care.
Tyson, you're right, but you should care, and I'll tell you why. You should care because whatever quarterback we're going to bring is not going to be our franchise quarterback. You acknowledge that, right? That's number one. Number two, when it gets to November, December in MetLife, we're going to run the ball. That Breece Hall guy is really good at running the ball.
So
Now you got Frank Wright like sitting here calling the plays and making a completely new playbook. You're going to want to lean on that, right? During those cold months. You're not, irrespective of who the quarterback is, you're still going to want to lean on that because look at the schedule. Look who's coming in. Look where
yeah,
we're
who
going.
gives a shit, dude? You're running the football.
Because
you
that means
you run the football.
because
You
that
give the ball to
means-
running back. You can you can go out and Tyler Algiers to back up. You Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis. Like you give the
They're not
running
as
back.
good as
It's
Breece
more
Hall.
about the offensive line, if anything else. Like Breece is good, but like I don't really give a shit what Breece thinks. I'm getting my quarterback and figuring out my offense. I mean, what do you think, Bubs? Like this?
Yeah, Bubs.
I mean,
Go-
yeah,
go
I
get
think Breece. I think they still end up probably working out an extension with Breece, and it's probably going to be one of those extensions similar to the Sauce, where like if it goes bad this year, they can end up trading him without it affecting them that much.
I 100% think he's gone at the trade deadline this year. I think he's out of here.
Yeah, I could see a world where that happens too. I think, and that's what I think of with Breece. I think he's going to bet on himself a bit, potentially get paid. If not, play under the tag. If things are going bad, force his way out. As of now, it feels like he's not going. Everything's been civil. As of now, it feels like that's all the reporting between both sides. He could pull Jamal Adams, start going to these news outlets and really forcing his way out. If he doesn't like the way things are going this offseason, he might have a certain standard of what he wants to see, moves he wants to be made. It's still very much day to day, in my opinion, with Breece. I think he'll be a Jet going into the season, but yeah, I could see a world where he's dealt at the deadline. I could see a world where he's dealt next offseason.
Yeah,
I think
but
it's very
Bob,
much.
to be honest with you, of all the storylines right now going into tomorrow, that's the last one I'm even thinking about.
Well,
You have
yeah,
a defense with a ton of holes. You have no quarterback. You need a wide receiver. You need offensive linemen. Like Breece
Yeah,
is
I mean,
like it's a story down the
the
line.
Breece thing was a story more a couple weeks ago when you were
Yeah.
focusing on whether or not a deal would get done.
But
Franchise
wait a
tag,
minute.
transition tag. They've made the franchise tag decision. The focus now shifts to building out the rest of this roster because you've got until July. You've got until mid-July to work out a deal with Breece. So they've got time, a couple months here to get that done. You got to find your quarterback. You got to get through the draft. So a lot of other things coming up.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Just so we're clear, yeah. Like I wasn't saying that the focal point should be on Breece Hall. I'm saying that Breece Hall's status absolutely affects from the point of view and mindset of Frank Wright, like who they are going to bring in at quarterback. That's
Like, it doesn't
it.
matter.
I completely agree with you
I
guys.
completely
Like,
disagree. I don't think it matters at all.
I think it does matter in the way he's going to scheme.
No, it doesn't.
and
like
make his
it's
playbook.
his is have a good offensive line, run the football. Whether you run it with Breece, Braylon Allen, Algier, Jeremiah Love, doesn't really fucking matter. They're going to run it anyway. If anything, they got to find a quarterback that can run their offense in terms of how can they complete passes? Can he do a play action pass? Can he lead the team? Like all that. Can he get in and out of the huddle? Can they communicate well? It's more important. Like the quarterback's more important than anything else. The running game will be the running no matter what. Whoever the running back's there, it doesn't really matter. They're going to run it regardless.
I can't. No. That's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but like, no, like Breece Hall.
Frank Reich's not sitting there like, I'm going to build my offense around Breece Hall. Who matches with Breece Hall? Look, that doesn't matter.
It will dictate, but it will dictate who they want at quarterback.
Bullshit, dude. Why would it matter? Like they're gonna like what? I'm not gonna sign Jacoby Brissett because he doesn't pair up well with Breece Hall. What the hell? Fucking what? There's no way.
Pair up with Breece Hall. It's the options that you have that Breece Hall gives you in the backfield. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
What? Like catching the ball out of the backfield, stuff like that.
He's just more talented than most running backs. He's a top five running back.
I mean, if you're trying to lure a quarterback in here as the say, if you're trying to sell Jacoby Brissett, well, you don't have to. You trade for him. If you want to say, hey, Mariota, do you want to come here? We have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Mason Taylor. Breece Hall is a selling point to lure somebody in here. But in terms of like worrying about your offense and developing it, Breece Hall's irrelevant to me, dude. Like run the football, dude. We have bigger problems. Finding wide receiver 2, finding the quarterback. I mean, Bubs, what do you think?
No, yeah, I agree. I don't think Breece necessarily. I guess my question for you would be like, what's your different criteria quarterback? Like, what's the quarterback that would you're saying like you want a quarterback that's going to fit with Breece?
No, like I said, let me correct myself and be absolutely clear here. I'm not saying that I want a quarterback that fits with Breece or one should build an offense around Breece. I'm saying Breece is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. That's facts, right? I'm saying that with or without him dictates what type of quarterback you're going to do, because Tyson's saying, and rightly so, oh, running back to running back, just run the ball, jam it down their throat. But no, Breece Hall is more than that. Running backs are a dime a dozen, yes, but the really good ones are really hard to find. You look at Saquon, right? You look at Walker. You look at these guys that are sitting here. These guys are special, and because the running back position isn't valued as it used to be back in the day, it still gives a quarterback options, and it actually articulates to what you can do with your playbook. But
you could do that. You could do that with the resources on your team. So just say Breece. Just say in your world, Breece Hall gets hurt week 1. Okay, guess what? Braylon Allen could be your smash mouth guy. Isaiah Davis, the guy catching the ball out of the backfield. Like you still run your offense. Like Breece can do different things, but you find ways to use your playmakers. Use Garrett Wilson more. Like there's different. Like I understand what you're saying, but my offense is not predicated on what Breece Hall can do. Like you find out your offense, you find out your quarterback, and you build around that way, and you find ways to maximize everybody's potential. They haven't even scratched the surface with Garrett Wilson yet. We didn't see shit out of Mason Taylor yet. There's so many other things they have to worry about other than like I guess I just disagree. I don't know.
No, I view Breece more as he's just a weapon for any quarterback. I don't think you're going into this free agency looking for a quarterback necessarily with Breece in mind. Use Breece as a selling point, use Garrett as a selling point. Yeah, sure. 100%. He's a weapon on this offense. You mentioned I agree with you in the standpoint of, he can catch pass out of the backfield. I don't think they use him enough out of the backfield as a pass catcher, but that necessarily affecting the quarterback or who they sign a quarterback, I don't really think that matches up necessarily. I think whoever the quarterback is, Breece is a weapon and you run the offense, you play within the offense. I saw the comment in the chat, as simple as it might sound, complete passes, just run an NFL offense. So I don't necessarily think Breece is on their mind, if that makes sense. If I'm gathering all of this from a quarterback standpoint during like this process. Like I don't necessarily know, like, are they going to choose Brissett over Gino because something Breece does? Like that's just where I'm a little confused.
Yeah, me too.
No, I just think like you look at the quarterback skill set and you see what you can and cannot do. Those are the only two things that matter in life, and they so the NFL. Because what one can do and what cannot do.
Yeah, then I guess if that's the case, then you'd be looking for the mobile quarterback, like the one to pair with Breece, which they tried with Fields. So you'd be looking like the Mariota type then. Does that make sense? Like, am I gathering that correctly? A guy that can move around a bit?
I liked Marcus when he was at Oregon and he came out, but I don't think.
So what's okay? So based on what you said, what quarterback do you want?
I don't really care at this point.
Oh, come
happy
on, dude.
No. I don't know, Tyson. I don't care, and I'll tell you why. Because I'd rather fill the defense. That you know me, I'm all about defense.
You have to care, dude. It's the most important position on the goddamn team.
It is, but I'd rather wait it. I'd rather wait it out one more.
Wait it out for what?
For the next draft class, maybe Manning.
So you don't. So you don't.
So I mean,
you're worried.
hold on.
Wait, you're worried about utilizing Breece Hall. Then you don't care about what quarterback you give him.
I'm happy to run it back with Justin one more time.
Oh, gee, I'm out of here, dude. I'm out. I can't. I'm out. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I can't do this. I can't.
Fields for another season.
This is Justin Fields. What are we doing here?
I was very confused with where he was going with that. And I guess I got to the bottom of it, which would be if he wants a quarterback that's going to pair with Breece, if that's what he's trying to get at, then it would be your Fields type. Not saying you're bringing back Fields necessarily, but it would be that Mariota, the mobile quarterback type. Malik Willis can move around a bit, but that's not. I don't really know where he was going with that. And I like Breece, and I'm.
See what it is, Bubs? Let's just call it. You're the nice guy, and I'm a douchebag. Like I just call it.
No, it was. I don't know where he was going. I was confused. I was confused from the start of it.
You're trying to be nice. I just call it like I see it. I just don't care anymore. Like I got to say what's going on.
I mean, talking about Justin Fields as the Jets' future quarterback or quarterback in 2026 is crazy. And I thought at first he was about to say like run it back with Brady Cook or something because it doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like he wants to sign anybody.
No,
which is so. I guess he's okay with Bailey Zappi and Hendon Hooker.
But we're all confused. Yeah, that was a rough call. And again, there's a lot of options out there. You can't be like, oh, I don't care who the quarterback is. And you have to care because we have to watch 17 games of football next year, and I don't want to watch anything worse than we saw last year. I just don't. So it's. And again, we can argue about options, but you can't just say I don't care because
and use Breece as a selling point 100%. He's one of the only selling points you can have on this team. But the Breece quarterback separate thing. The Breece pairing him with a quarterback doesn't like Breece a weapon. Sure, pairing him with a quarterback doesn't make sense. And why run it back with Fields? That if you're talking about pairing Breece with a quarterback, how'd that work out? They won.
You run it back with Fields. You're just you've quit before the season even started.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not going to happen. It's just that's fantasy land, but. It's just funny. Talk about finding a quarterback that's going to fit with Breece. They just did Fields and they won 3 football games.
Listen, just so you guys, I like ST, man. ST is like he calls in all the time.
Oh no, yeah, he's a good caller. He's been calling.
But I don't have like going into free agency tomorrow. I had so much like anticipation and nervousness and already anger of some of the takes that are out there that I couldn't do it.
Justin Fields return talk day before free agency is not
not going to work for me. No. Justin Fields should be cut tomorrow. If he's, that's where we're moving on to. But and again, there's a lot of positions that we have to address. Like I'm not sure. Like everybody's been talking about wide receiver. I think the Jets go opposite. They're going to look at safety, linebacker. A lot of good safeties out there. No Cam Curl re-signed, which bummed me out because I kind of wanted him. Yeah, but you have Cross out there. Linebackers. I think everybody expects Enzalone's going to go quick. The Jets get him done, but now there's supposedly a market for him, which means he probably wants to get paid more money. But like there's a lot of options out there, man. But the one thing that I really want to talk about real quickly before we go to Nick is AVT is a player everybody's talking about. Yeah. Bring back Elijah Vera Tucker, bring him back. I'm like, okay, what are you paying him? Oh, just pay him market value. Market value for a guard with Pro Bowl potential is going to be a lot of money, man. Yeah. But if you ignore the injury factor, for me, I can't ignore the injury factor. So it's like, do you want to pay him $12 million a year, $13 million a year for a couple of years and take that chance? Meanwhile, in the back of your head, knowing, you know what, he's got a pretty good injury risk. I got to get somebody behind him as well. Or do you want to say, you know what, Tippmann played okay, re-sign John Simpson, draft a kid, and move on better than that? Like, where do you stand with AVT? Because I'm like, I like him, great player, captain, class act, work ethic, all these things. 3 out of 5 years, dude. That's what I look at.
And he's a stud when he's on the field. And the health's the biggest concern with him. And I could see both sides of it. From the Jets' perspective, though, I don't see. I mean, you're looking at you talk about market value. You're looking at some of the projected contracts for AVT. You're looking 4 years, 17.5 million, 18 million. Like you're not 40 upwards to like 45 million guaranteed. I just don't see the Jets doing that. And to me, it's very risky. I think you're looking more towards the cheaper option. Let AVT walk, I'd be totally on board with it because AVT's market's just a lot more robust. He's near the top of the market, rightfully so, because when he's healthy, he's nearly an elite player. He's an all-pro potential type of player. When he's out there at just 26 years old still, it feels like he's been in the league for a lot longer just because he's missed so much time and all that stuff. But I think you're heading in a different direction. I think you go in a different direction where you go a cheaper option. I've seen Zion Johnson from the Chargers, who's also just 26, linked to the Jets as well. Chris Paul, too, from the Commanders was another one, just 27. There's a couple veterans out there, too, like Wyatt Teller. Didn't have a great year last year with Cleveland. He's a veteran. Batonio, Zeitler, veterans. Isaac Sumalo from the Pittsburgh, I believe he's 32. He's another veteran. So there's kind of a mix of some other young guys you can go with. John Simpson, some veterans. I don't think AVT's back.
No, that's too. And this is the comment is I bet AVT is something that is a non-issue. He understands he hasn't earned too much money. I see him taking a fair contract. I don't see that at all. I see AVT hitting free agency saying, you know what, this is my first time being a free agent. I want to get paid the most I can get paid. And that's what football is all about, because your career in the NFL doesn't last long. So you make as much as you can when you can. He's not going to offer a discount. He's not going to offer any bargains. He wants to get paid, dude. And the more guaranteed money, the better. And I just don't think that, and I like him. Like I like the guy. Like you always root for him. But in terms of what you're looking to do here, I just don't think it is. I think they can't take that chance. And then they can't spend that money. They spend it elsewhere.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I love AVT too. And when he's out there, he's a beast and he's a good leader, good player, easy to root for, all those things. It sucked to see him go down before the season, just for him too, with everything he's gone through. You hate to see it for the player, for the human being, but I think he's gone. And from his perspective, you're trying to secure every amount of money you can get. You're trying to get every penny you can get, especially guaranteed money, just because of the injury history too. You go down one more major injury on like a small 1-year contract, there's no guarantee any other team's taking a chance on you. So now's your time to try and secure your bag.
And if we're being completely honest, while he's been a great high character guy with the Jets, maybe getting a fresh start in another organization that has a winning background or winning history or a better quarterback or a better coach is something he wants to do too. Like, you know what I mean? Like he may say, I love New Jersey, but I also love winning. I want to be a part of a different organization that's not rebuilding every year. You know what I mean? Like that's a factor too with these players. Yeah.
No, I mean, get an opportunity to fight for the playoffs. You mean you're saying the Jets don't compete for the playoffs, Tyson?
The only thing we compete for is bargain basement players, according to many right now. Yeah. What's up, Nick?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Honestly, it's funny. It's like, you're talking about the business of it, but like it goes both ways though, right? Like even for the player, like AVT, like to the same point, like get the money while it's there.
Yep.
If someone's offering, like Becton is a great example. Look at Becton. Like he absolutely cashed in on everything that Philly offered him that 1 year. And now here we are, what, a year later? Not even a year and a half. Like, and looking to do the same thing. So like,
he got money from Philly, he got money from the Chargers, and now he's a free agent again.
Yeah, it's like I mean, but to be fair, like, right, the business works both ways. So like to the player, like if you have the opportunity, like take your guaranteed money when you get it.
Well, yeah, especially it's like the New York Jets that don't have the history of winning or success or competency. Like nobody's saying, you know what, I'm gonna give you a discount just to stay here. Like when Aaron Rodgers first came here, he took a discount because of Hackett and all this other shit. That's not happening for anybody else on this team, dude. Nobody's doing that. Like you want me to come here, I want the Jets tax. Like I want to be paid well to come here and endure the stench of this organization. So it's not happening.
No, I feel you guys. I mean, a couple things that I've been like kind of like there's so many reports at this point in time, so I'm kind of like a wait and see approach. Even with like the fact that the team has so much money, I think it's just wait because like so many players have been released, and you just never know. Even a couple days into free agency, the climate and the environment can change very drastically. What's up, Jake?
Yep.
But like to me, the best player, like I'm talking about game-changing player, I've said this for months now, has been Linderbaum. I think he's the only guy in the prime of his career that could change at any position. Like he's the only transformative player, but I don't know what the market is for him. Have you guys heard anything
19
on like
million a year?
But I would pay that. I honestly would. I think he's that good.
Yeah, but with the way the Ravens are handling themselves right now, they went out and traded for Max Crosby. They got Lamar Jackson. They're pretty much a win now team. Wouldn't they try to secure their own player, try to bring him back? Like,
no, because an edge rusher is way more important than a center. So why wouldn't you spend that money on an edge rusher?
no, I'm saying but keep the whole band together. Like keep him, like find a way to keep him in your building. So I agree with Max. I'm saying when you bring him, you make a move like Max Crosby. That's a win now move. That's like you're going for it, even with a new head coach.
I
It
love
is,
the
but
potential Crosby Jesse Minter combo. I think it's gonna be
100%.
dangerous.
No, but 100% agree. Like it's a great team, but like, what is their cap situation? You're talking about 20 million to a center and then 30 million to Crosby. That's 50 million right there. So they have to, spend their money judiciously, right? So like a center versus an edge rusher, I think all of us would agree you're going to spend that money on an edge rusher. So if it's 10 million more and you cut the cost there, I think that might have been part of their overall plan.
So you think that Linderbaum would be a game-changing move for the Jets to make?
If you're building this whole team, regardless of like Glenn's philosophy has been run the ball since the start. And if you can solidify, because Tittman's a better guard than center. I've said this all along. I think everyone's
That's true.
agreed. You have 4/5 of your offensive line complete. And how much success have we had with that team? Thomas Jones, Sean Green, right? Like 4/5 of that line was first rounders. So, and Linderbaum's a first round pick. So it kind of fits the mold of what we've had success with. Why not spend the money where you have a guaranteed hit, a guy who's been successful and in the prime of his career? That's the only point I've made about this guy. I don't give a crap how much money you're going to pay him. If he wants 20 million, he's probably a top 5 center in the game. It's worth it.
Well, that you think about it is, well, first of all, when Linderbaum was coming out in the draft, I wanted him. And if you go back to the Parcells days, one of the first moves Parcells made was get Kevin Mawai. He made that big
exactly.
Like, why is Parcells going for a center? Like, what the hell is this? Like Parcells, Curtis Martin. But I get it, dude. Like that would be interesting. That would be a power move for sure, where you're literally making a commitment to your offensive line, which again would be great for a young quarterback. If you draft one this year, next year, a young quarterback can flourish behind that. That's interesting, man.
The success that this franchise has been because we've had a great offensive line.
Yep.
All those units, whether it's 98, I'm blanking on the 08, 010, those years, it was all predicated on a great offensive line that had a lot of investment, whether it's free agency with Faneca or the draft with Brick and Mangold. Like this whole year, like, I don't know, maybe it's an emotional tie to it, but like Mangold passing away, it really hit home that how much was predicated on that. Like even Mawai's years, Mawai was pulling and screens and doing things like that. Like he had such an impact on the running game. Yeah. The center and the tackles are the most important. We have 2 great tackles. So why not just complete that whole line?
I mean, that's fair. I mean, Bubba, what do you think?
Yeah, 2 bookend tackles going on center. Like you said, he shouldn't bust. He's proven that he's a stud in the NFL, one of the elite centers at the position. I think there's a good chance the Giants take him just with the Harbaugh connection. There's been a lot of rumors there.
That's what I worry about.
But that's the perfect setup though for like
or outbid any other team.
If you're the Giants, that's a perfect setup. That you have Jackson Dart there, and then you have Scatterboo, Neighbors, all these guys. Then you can put you have Linderbaum in front of him. It's ideally if you're going to build an offense up for a young quarterback, put the center from. It's fair. It's definitely a fair point.
That's the only concern I have is the Harbaugh connection there. I'll leave you guys with this. The only thing I'm concerned with is in this draft is at 2, Arvil Reese, and this is something that I thought about a lot with over the years, right? Like there's talent, and you can identify talent on a lot of different fronts. But when you're on a team that's super talented, you can get your talent can get overshadowed. You get man-on-man matchups and things that make you look way better than you are. Yep. And I worry that Arvil Reese is the 3rd best player on that defense. And everything in the combine that we've seen kind of accentuates that. And that's what I'm really worried about, because the need for this team is absolutely edge rusher. And maybe Bailey's the pick. I see a lot of kind of a young Khalil Mack and Bailey, to be honest. But that's what I worry about. Is like he's surrounded by a great defense at Ohio State, and they're coached by a great defensive coordinator that knows how to use them. So that scheme may really accentuate his talents and make him look better than he is. And that's really what I worry about with everyone in general. And I think Styles is probably the best player of the three.
That's
and
what I like. Yeah.
yeah, and where we're at, it's so terrible. Like if I had a crystal ball and could tell somebody like the Giants trade up from 5 to 2 to get whoever you want, and we can still get Styles, I would 100% do it. But I just don't. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. But I think he's probably the best player.
So wait, before you go though, you got to tell us who you want a quarterback, man. It's the biggest story going to be tomorrow.
I know. That's what I want. A young guy. Like I like Aller. I like Nessmeyer. I like those.
What about free agents though?
So I would love for Carr to come out of retirement, but I just think he's trolling everybody for some reason. But I do think if he does, he's the best option because say what you will, give me somebody who's motivated. I don't care. Use the term bridge, however you want to call it, but Aaron Rodgers could be considered a bridge. You play 6 games and you play well enough or whatever, and the team's 2-4. You're bridging them to the next, to the next quarterback to some extent. So you just need competent play at the position. And I know everyone's been talking about, you guys have been talking about Brissett and everything like that, but he also was in Arizona. He had a good amount of games to kind of prove himself this year. And that team's still kind of flopped. Granted, they don't have maybe as much talent as we do, but I don't know. I really like Carr if he comes out of retirement. I always like the big-bodied quarterback. So Jameis Winston, if the Giants would ever move on from him.
Yep, that's what.
But I don't want to. I don't want to trade Mac Jones a second-round pick. No, absolutely not.
Yep.
So the value of what everyone's at right now is kind of tough for me.
Especially they know the Jets are desperate too. It's you want they know how their quarterback room is empty. Fields is going to be gone. They have nothing, and teams know that too. They probably take advantage of that.
Honestly, I know you guys and a lot of people shit on it, but he has a prototypical mold, and if you erase yourself from the memory, Gino isn't the worst for 5 games. Just give me whatever you got, and he's fairly mobile.
I'm down, dude.
He fits the mold for that, and get me to Aller, whoever the next young quarterback is. If you can give me 6 to 10 games, I think this team can at least solidify itself in that time.
Yep, completely agree. That's all we're looking for, a hold the fort guy. Yeah. Just be competitive, help install your offense, help develop and mentor the young quarterback, and move on. I think Gino will be fine for that. I don't hate Carr. I just have concerns about him. But according to the report before, which these reports right now could be a lot of smoke screens. It's Cousins and Carr aren't interested in the Jets, or Jets aren't interested in him, whatever it is. But so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Cousins doesn't want to come here. He had 2 shots to come here and he hasn't. Enough and the guy's done. We're talking about a guy and we had 4 wins last year, and one of the wins was against him.
Yeah. At home too.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You're that good a quarterback, beat the 4-win team.
It's true.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Cousins at this stage in his career, he's dome, warm weather. He's not now at this stage.
He wants to win too.
No chance.
Yeah.
Nick, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, great chatting with you guys.
You too, man.
Have a good one.
Go Jets.
That Linderbaum thing is interesting, man. I've always been big on centers. I just don't. I think the money is huge. Yeah, the money's huge. I think the Ravens try to find a way to keep him. Like you said, the Giants. It's so funny because think about all the guys we've talked about over here, like Landon Dickerson, Linderbaum.
Yeah.
Jet fans all wanted them in the draft.
Yeah.
And now every time they come free, it's let's try to get him. We should have had him drafted.
Yeah. It's a lot of these guys. And it's funny because talking about these quarterbacks too, these are names that we've regurgitated over time, the last couple of years specifically. It was fun. I was going through some of my notes the other day. I was just looking through all my files. Yeah. And I found one from 2024 offseason of why Jacoby Brissett would be a good backup quarterback option behind Rodgers. And I'm here we are, 2026, March 8th, and we're talking about Jacoby Brissett.
Bro, it's crazy.
It's funny. It's same thing with Derek Carr. That was whole 2023 conversation with Carr. Now we're going back to the Gino days. And it's funny because it's crazy how things line up because the Gino Jaw turned into Fitzpatrick. You catch lightning in a bottle with him for a year. And in a perfect world, you catch lightning in a bottle with one of these quarterbacks for a year, and you have like a 2015, kind of 2017 Josh McCown type play too. And that goes back to Gino in 2015 with the Jaw. So it's crazy to think that like here we are again. It's just time's a flat circle with this team.
It never ends, dude. And like the fact that we're having conversations, we're arguing about Andy Dalton and Carson Wentz, all this shit. But to me, I think it's like the quarterback will be interesting, but the biggest bang for the buck will be defense tomorrow. I think that's where they're going to start and end. Will it be corner? Will it be safety? Will it be linebacker? Will it be all three? I just hope the team's aggressive, man. And I'm not saying spend haphazardly, but go out and get your guy finally. Like, make that statement like, hey, you know what? If it's Cross, go out and get him, dude. Spend the money. Like, I'm not even going to overreact to contract prices because the Jets are not an easy sell for anybody. Even if you're a defensive player, Aaron Glenn could be a great play caller. It's on the hot seat. So you're not guaranteed that Aaron Glenn's even going to be here next year. So if you got to spend the money and collect as much talent as possible.
Yeah, no, there's tons of holes in this roster, and there's no guarantee, too, from a Glenn selling point that he's even lasting the season as well. So there's that factor. But, yeah, from a quarterback, linebacker, defensive end perspective, if there's a guy you like and the price is higher or wherever the price is and you like him enough and you feel he's a scheme fit and you feel he can make an impact for the team, make that move. Don't shop in the basement. Don't shop at the dollar store. Don't do what you did last offseason. There's no excuse to do that now more than ever. You won 3 games. You got so many holes in this roster. You're on the hot seat. You got to improve this team. You've got the cap space to do it. You've also got the draft capital to do it. Build in free agency, supplement through the draft, and vice versa too. You know, also build through the draft, supplement free agency. Same thing, like whether it's building through defensively free agency. We saw New England kind of take that approach last offseason, and then offensively go through the draft. I don't know where the receiver market's going to be with this Jets team. I don't necessarily know they're going to be on the Alec Pierce, Wan'Dale Robinsons of the world. I think they're going to get more money and want to go elsewhere with a more stable quarterback situation. I think you're looking more draft for wide receivers, but yeah, safeties. There's plenty of them out there. Linebackers. This is a great free agency for linebackers and safeties. What do the Jets need? Linebackers and safeties. Get some help at corner. Same thing with the defensive end spot. I don't know how much money they'll pump into that if the plan is and the expectations you go Bailey or Reset too, but you also need help there. You need more juice there. You trade away Jermaine Johnson. That's a hole now as well. So they've got to make moves. They've got to be able to pony up and spend some money.
And offensive line too.
Yeah, offensive line as well. And again, you don't want to spend it haphazardly. You don't want to just spend just to spend, but you've got to be aggressive and calculated at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yep. No, I completely agree. So Javed says this may not be popular, but I think giving a sizable contract to Pierce would be a mistake. I don't think Pierce is coming here. I think Pierce can make crazy money. He's the top receiver out there right now. I'd rather Juwan Jennings if I had a choice, but yeah, I would not give Pierce crazy money. I just wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give Pierce upward in like the 25 million range, which is where he could be searching for. I think you're right. You're looking more at the Juwan Jennings of the world, even potentially the Romeo Dobbs of the world, the Shaheeds of the world, those type of names.
Yeah, I think they're all going to go elsewhere. I think the Jets going to have to get receiving help. You may get a mid-tier guy, lower-tier guy in free agency, but you got to hit it in the draft. I just think the top receivers are all going to go to teams with legit quarterbacks and legit coaches. Yeah, I think in an ideal world, and the expectation, in my opinion, would be you find your wide receiver 2 in the draft. Yep. And in this veteran, you sign a Shaheed, Juwan Jennings, whoever is probably your 3. In a perfect world where you land a Mekhi Lemon, a Tyson, a Tate, potentially at 16 or however it all plays out, Boston as well. You got Surratt potentially at 33 in the second round. There's some nice options out there too. So different ways they can go with it. The one thing I don't want the Jets to do, and it seems like this happens every year, where there is a market saturated with very good players that are a need for the Jets and they don't address it. Like right now, like it happened even last year, it was a phenomenal year for safeties and free agency. Great safeties all over the place. They went out and got Cisco, and that was it. And it's like, all right, so now you're heading in this free agent class, very good safeties all over the place. Get one of them. Very good linebackers all over the place. Get one. Like, it's almost like the obvious move. Like, do the obvious now. Don't be cute. Don't try to be out clever everybody. Like, do what you're supposed to do now. Yeah. It's funny because I was thinking about this the other day. And I wanted to bring it up, and it's perfect that you brought this up now. Don't do what they did last year in the draft, where it was a deep defensive line class, deep interior defensive line class. They had a whole defense line. They could use some bodies up front, and it didn't take anybody
in any of the 7 rounds. Don't do that. Don't walk away from this without a good safety. Don't walk away from this without investing money at the linebacker position. You're spot on. It's a good free agency class. Don't miss out, specifically at those 2 positions. Because last offseason we saw in the draft, they didn't do anything at D-line. Even day 3, there were some intriguing options. Now they turned that into Briggs, and they ended up getting Phillips, so they beefed it up that way. But still, you can't walk away empty-handed.
I mean, even not taking a developmental quarterback last year was a miss.
Yeah.
Like they should have, like literally Brady Cook was an undrafted free agent, like not taking a flyer to fit 6th round, like Will Howard, somebody, like anybody take a chance on. They didn't do that either. So
no,
they have had a year to figure out. So what is we did almost an hour and a half, which is crazy. What is your wish list for free agency for the Jets? Like, what are your top 3 guys you want to get?
Including, I guess quarterback doesn't really. It's quarterback.
We could leave quarterback out of it if you want.
All right, quarterback out of it. Love Brian Cook. From Kansas City.
Me too.
He's a stud. I really like Leo Chanel from Kansas City as well, 25 years old.
Yep.
Both those guys have the ability to blitz. Both those guys good against the run, good short tacklers, really good, just solid defenders for this team, solid up the middle for this defense. Secondary from a Brian Cook perspective, who 26 years old, so 2 young players. So Chanel, Cook. Do I want to go another linebacker, or
I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go Anzalone, be like, I'd fine with that. I don't give.
Yeah, I don't mind Anzalone. Chanel, yeah, those would be 3. I happen to like if they got a Dobbs or a Shaheed, I'd be happy with it.
Yep.
But yeah, if you told me day 1 they're walking away with Chanel, Cook, Anzalone, I think that's a fine day 1. I think you're okay with that. And then whoever the quarterback is, of course. Defensive ends, Owe from the Chargers, Dafe Owe, 27 years old. Mafe from the Seahawks, Kwity Paye from the Colts, 27. I'm curious how much they want to invest at defensive end. I'm curious if they're going to go for the higher names. Muhammad, Wadeen Muhammad from the Lions, another name. Marcus Davenport, too, is another name. Both guys worked with Glenn, so I could see them going that route. And then Cook, even Nick Cross from the Colts, a little bit of a down year last year, but still young, 24 years old. So he's another one. But yeah, Cook, Chanel, Anzalone, the 2 edges that we just mentioned from Detroit, Cross, those guys are up there for me in terms of day 1 of free agency. And that's where I think they're going to attack it is defense.
Okay, so today's Sunday, which is tomorrow night. We do a show tomorrow night at 8:00. Tomorrow night at 8:00, will we be happy, excited, or frustrated?
Well, I think we're gonna be frustrated either way because we're still gonna look at the quarterback and just question everything. I'm gonna say we're gonna be content. I think we'll be happy. I think we'll be okay with that. I think we'll be okay with day 1. But I could see where we're frustrated too.
I'm gonna try to embrace positivity at least for 24
I've been negative all off season. I'm gonna try to embrace some positivity here as well. You and I, Tyson, both embrace some positivity and try and talk myself into coming on to tomorrow's stream and being. I'm not gonna be ecstatic. I'm not gonna be happy. There's nothing that this coach can do this offseason, that this front office can do this offseason to make me happy and believe in this team. But the chat's right. We probably are going to be frustrated.
No. We're
I'm trying to embrace the positivity.
Yes. For 24 hours, I'm going to embrace positivity. No, it's actually probably less than that because free agency starts at noon. Yeah.
I don't know why we're going to be frustrated because it's just going to be, and I don't mind Gino Smith, but they might sign Smith and Wentz and maybe Anzalone. We're going to be sitting there like, great. Smith and Wentz quarterback room. Great.
I can't do it. No, I'll tell you right now, if we tomorrow night at 8:00, if we come on and Wentz is the only guy in the building right now for the Jets, I'm gonna lose my mind, dude. I'm gonna be out of my friggin' mind. I'm like, this can't be the answer. It just can't.
Yeah, it would be like a panic button.
Yep.
Because they still might make another move. There's a good chance, right? Maybe Gino Smith happens a couple days later. not everything always happens day one. But yeah, if you're walking away day one, it's just Wentz, and there's reports coming out that, the Jets really like Wentz and they're comfortable with Wentz, and it's making it seem like Wentz is their guy. Yeah, it's going to be bad. I think first signing, Anzalone. I think he is the first signing. I still stand by that. I know there seems to be a bit of a market. That's what the rumors show.
That's just to get money.
Yeah, I think the Jets are going to give him probably a little bit more than he's expected to get. He's kind of around the 7.5 million range. I could see them giving him a little bit more than that. And he'll be one of the first signings. He'll be Glenn's guy. We talked about him last year as a potential trade option.
Yep.
Talking about him now as a free agent. I think he's one of the first moves they make. And then
it's the obvious one because it's a leader in the locker room. It's Aaron Glenn's captain. It's his
captain of the defense.
He can communicate through all the signals. He can implement the defense, kind of have that leadership role, which they desperately need. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, that's his guy day one. You get him right away. Fits your vision or fits what you obviously want to do on defense. Another name I keep an eye on too is Malik Willis from the Dolphins, who was a name last year we talked about because he's got the Glenn connection in Detroit. Another young safety option. A lot of these safeties, they're young. Even a Jaquan Brisker from Chicago, Kevin Byard from Chicago, kind of the older type of safety. I think you look more the younger route with this regime, but a lot of good young safeties too. So
Blankenship out there.
Name. Yeah.
So,
and then Nick Folk.
I actually wanted I
hope he's back. I want him back.
Yeah, he played well. But then it's funny. Rich means he may want a pay raise. He was our MVP last year. He earned the pay raise. He's the only guy that could do anything on this team.
Yeah, he was.
So
he was the best player on the team last year.
There's trades too, man. Like I said, we talked about this last week. I would have already traded for Brissett. I would have gotten it done already, but we'll see what happens tomorrow.
What would shock you tomorrow? Like, what shocking move could you see?
A high trade from a Mac Jones or Davis Mills. They trade a second round pick for a Mac Jones or Davis Mills. I'd be shocked because I would disagree with it. I wouldn't like it at all, dude.
I'd just be shocked if either of those teams parted with those guys too.
But I mean, it would be Kyler would shock me as well. But I'm saying the Jets trading for a quarterback's one thing, 4th round pick, 5th round pick. If you go in the second round and trade something, I'm just be pissed.
Yeah,
Linderbaum would shock me for sure.
Linderbaum, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Kyler would shock me. Linderbaum would shock me.
Me too. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with Kyler. And the thing with Kyler is if you are going to bring Kyler, you can't guarantee him the job. You got to let him. He's got to compete. And that's the problem. I don't think he's going to want to come here and compete. I think he's going to want to go to a place where he can get the job right away. Yeah, Kyler would shock. If Tua got released, that would stun me.
Cousins would shock me because I don't think he wants to come here.
No.
There's a bunch of things. This is the problem. We could be shocked tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm still in the boat of I could still see, even with all the reports, I could still see a world where Carr happens. So I guess I wouldn't be in the boat of that would shock me. I could still see. I'd be a little bit surprised at this point, but I could see a world still where Carr happened.
But I think, but I think honestly, I think some of these. I mean, I think these deals are probably already done now. They just announced it tomorrow, but I think Willis probably goes quickly, though. I think that the market's going to be out there because teams want to get your quarterback in place so you can go get your wide receiver and everything else. I don't think it's going to be a week from now. I'm like, I wonder what happens with Malik Willis. I think he goes quickly.
Yeah, I agree. He's already the top quarterback on the market. I'm trying to think of any other moves. It's the Jets. They've always got something up their sleeve. Because it's funny. Last year we didn't really get any shocking moves.
We were
what would be a Woody move would be a meddling Woody move out of this free agent class. Probably be Kyle. Would it be Kyler?
That would be Kyler
because he's got the name recognition.
Well, I mean, when you figure when Woody meddles, he wants to sell tickets, so it's got to be a name. It's got to be a splashy name. That oh my God, we got this. That would be that.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they gave Pierce.
Yeah, I don't see that
big
either.
Money. Any receiver for that matter, I'd be surprised with big money. Throw Wan'Dale Robinson in the mix. I don't think they're giving him $20+ million.
Well, they're saying he wants to go to Tennessee, I think now, right? With Dable.
Yeah, I've heard that. And I know the Giants are out of him because his market's just too high. I think there's a greater chance of Wan'Dale taking a pay cut going back to the Giants to play with Dart than him coming here at this point. But yeah, Tennessee makes sense.
All right. Well, we will find out tomorrow starting at noon. I'll be posting videos all day, and then tomorrow night you have to deal with my chaos if things don't go well. So get ready for it. Brace yourself.
Yes, I will. Tomorrow will be interesting. Potentially, if tomorrow goes bad, tomorrow night's stream is gonna be a wild one. Which it probably will go bad because it's the Jets.
No.
We're trying to embrace positivity.
We're positive till noon tomorrow. Then we can start complaining again.
Yeah, positive till noon, and then when it's 12:01, we're gonna throw a fit because they haven't signed anybody.
No, like at 12:05, we start complaining. They're not doing nothing.
Not signing anybody.
Muji's sleeping like Glenn at the combine. Like they're all
Malik
sleeping
Willis
again.
is off the board. Pierce signs. Kyler signs. Not gonna get a quarterback.
Brissett goes to the Dolphins.
Yeah, Brissett's gone. Gino's gone. We're gonna be stuck with Wentz and Dalton.
Can you imagine? Well, thank you guys for joining us. We definitely appreciate it. It was an impromptu little Sunday night thing I had to because I was reading the reports. I texted Bubs. I'm like, dude, we got to do a show because this is just so. We appreciate you guys joining us tomorrow night, 8:00. You may need beverages on the side if things don't go well because I'm definitely having mine. And we'll talk to you later.
Have a good one.
J-E-T-S,